explaining problem-based learning based on its 4 underlying principles. We explain the 4 core principles of contextual, constructive, collaborative, and self-directed learning. Here, you will see how problem-based learning practices are built. There is no single solution, however, you will get an impression of how you can use these 4 core principles to improve your teaching. What is problem-based learning? In problem-based learning, students form small groups where they discuss a real-life problem or a case by activating their prior knowledge on this subject, relating the new information to what they already know on the topic, structuring new ideas, and critically evaluating their findings. Learners collaborate with their peers and receive support from their tutors. Why encourage problem-based learning with the underlying core principles? With problem-based learning, students become active learners, engage in discussing meaningful problems, activate relevant prior knowledge, and integrate it with new knowledge to address the current and related problems. Students gain a deep understanding. Problem-based learning results in high levels of student satisfaction, has positive effects on knowledge application and on acquiring generic competencies such as being able to collaborate, communicate, and deal with uncertainties. How to implement problem-based learning in your classrooms. Contextual learning. The contextual learning principle implies that learning preferably starts by engaging students in tasks derived from professionally relevant context to stimulate transfer of learning. In other words, center all learning around whole, complex, ill-defined tasks and order them from simple to complex. You can gain students' attention by starting from real-life problems facing our society, such as inequalities, health and well-being, poverty, peace, democracy, climate change, and other relevant issues. Constructive learning. Constructive learning means stimulating students to actively construct and reconstruct their knowledge. Students should be encouraged to ask and answer critical questions, to reason and relate issues, and discuss contradictions to deepen their learning. Start by asking what the learners already know about the topic to activate their prior knowledge. Ask learners to create a concept map to make meaningful connections between the main idea and other information, and then have students provide explanations in their own words. Collaborative learning. In collaborative learning, 2 or more learners collaborate and learn with and from each other while working on a complex problem. This enhances students to co-construct knowledge and build upon each other's ideas. Encourage learners to collaborate with their peers while learning around meaningful complex problems. Divide a large crowd in small groups and stimulate them to have a dialogue. With smaller groups, it is easier for students to connect with each other and share their ideas on a regular basis. Make students learn in a group or smaller communities with mutual goals and interests. Self-directed learning. The idea behind self-directed learning is that students should take the lead in their own learning. Therefore, encourage students to set goals and determine strategies to achieve these goals. Stimulate students to evaluate their learning. Inspire them to raise questions that need further investigation, for example, by organizing a discussion around a problem. Offer students some autonomy to select problems and resources that fit their needs. Students have to learn to become self-directed learners, so train them to become autonomous, then offer coaching and support. Now you know how problem-based learning works at Maastricht University. Please watch the rest of our series to learn more about each core principle, contextual, constructive, collaborative, and self-directed learning separately, including strategies to implement them in your own education.